Ancient forts.
Medieval castles and other fortifications.
Repetition of words and phrases.
People kept saying the same thing over and over.
It will be refurbished.
To be made safe and redecorated.
Arts and crafts.
Finding original pictures, jewelry, and ceramics.
Some items given by the artists.
Several of the artists each donated one work.
Education progression.
The number of schools and colleges has increased.
It was simple to carry out.
I was surprised by how straightforward that was.
Create a comfortable environment.
Surroundings which are both familiar and inviting.
To reduce stress.
To relax and overcome psychological factors.
Good at organization.
Better at managing time and prioritizing things.
Shortage of fuel.
There was not enough coal in the local area.
Its style is out of date.
The overall tone is somewhat old-fashioned.
Involvement of top performers.
Interviewed leading musicians.
Inspired by contemporary culture.
Music and technology, that's part of everyday life.
The work is physically demanding.
You're on your feet all day long, lifting and carrying.
Manufactured on a large scale.
Industrial production increased dramatically.
Use the site for leisure.
Use the site for recreation and outdoor activities.
Raising money for good causes.
Fundraising activities for charities.
Reserve a place in advance.
You book well ahead of time.
25 to the 30th of January.
They've put it at the end of the month.
As a voluntary worker.
I decided to join a voluntary organization.
Getting enough bicycles to send regularly.
We need to have a constant supply of bikes.
Its economy has been totally transformed.
The local economy has developed so much.
She prefers to live with a single person.
A single person would be better for me.
The seminar lasts for 2 days.
Seminar on the 1st and 2nd of February.
Encourage interest in learning.
Students feel positive about their study.
How to use time effectively.
The key components are time management.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
3 consecutive days starting on Monday.
Starting from the basics.
Want to start at the beginning.
A range of walking abilities.
All skills and fitness levels.
Pay the same as other clients.
No single client will pay more.
Disagree with the rest of the group.
They just don't get along with everybody else.
Farmed birds are very productive.
The failure rate on farms is very low indeed.
The amount of rain.
It rained on quite a number of days.
15 minutes.
Every quarter of an hour.
Running a newsagent.
Selling magazines and newspapers.
Providing cheap tickets.
You can get inexpensive charter flights.
Watering farmland.
The rural irrigation of crops.
Guidance of ordinary individuals.
Preparing programs for ordinary members.
5 or 6 children.
They are best suited to small group work.
Potential leaders.
Employees who can lead in a situation.
Show what Antarctica is like.
Aim to create the atmosphere of Antarctica.
Extremely beautiful.
I'm struck by the awesome beauty of the place.
No military use.
Prohibit any nuclear explosions or waste disposal.
In the long-term future.
Still a long way in the future.
Depressed by the experience.
Costly surroundings seem empty and dispiriting.
Industrial buildings.
There used to be a lot of factories.
The restaurant is fully booked.
We don't have any tables free.
It was written to celebrate an anniversary.
It was commissioned to mark a well-known scientist.
Attended by officials from the town.
The mayor and other dignitaries will be attending.
He would like to work in the media.
I quite like the idea of writing for magazines.
Ready to be reused.
Can be used again and again.
Method of water treatment.
System enables seawater to be used in the pool.
The statue will be at the door.
The sculpture we plan to have at the entrance.
Space travel.
Rockets and the International Space Station.
To experience an isolated place.
To experience living on a small island.
It made the work better known.
It made our activities more widely understood.
Always very energetic.
Leaping out of the water with great vigor.
Changing social attitudes.
How relationships between people were shifting.
Convenient for river transport.
A handy place to load and unload cargo.
Increase in demand for metals.
A tremendous need for metals of all kinds.
Using internet.
Get updates by checking the website.
Incorrect identification of some organisms.
We might have missed some organisms.
There are not so many bus routes.
Parts of the town are no longer served by buses.
Lack of major retailers.
There are so few well-known chain stores here.
Andrew has worked at the hospital.
I've been working in the administration of the hospital.
Andrew's employers will pay his fees.
My office has agreed to pay the cost of the course.
Found it easy to reach customers.
Having a bike meant he could get where he wanted to go.
Hold an event to raise money.
Activities you could organize to bring in funds for us.
Sarah requires a twin room.
Can I share a room with someone else?
There are several circuses in the festival.
There are plenty of others in the program.
People going back to college.
Students who are returning to study.
The work on writing aims to improve clarity.
Some techniques to help you write more clearly.
It helps students to read analytically.
The habit of analyzing materials as you read.
Advice on coping with stress.
Some input about stress management.
Entertainment is provided most nights.
Entertainment is laid on nearly every night.
Too dangerous.
It's a bit risky.
Unemployed people.
If you are unemployed or retired.
Injury often results in more damage.
Which caused further twisting of the spine.
For a maximum of 2 days.
It can be helpful for up to 2 days.
Worsens existing back pain.
It will increase the strain and make things worse.
Importance of staff selection.
Importance of choosing all-round right people.
Colleagues' ability.
People have to have faith in each other's ability.
Has more protein than beef.
Ostrich meat is higher in protein than beef.
It made no difference to his enjoyment.
To take another pass was never a disappointment.
1 hour to 2 hours.
I should say just over an hour.
In the early morning.
A little around breakfast time.
Local service programs.
Providing a service for the community.
Improve sound quality.
A lot of attention to the quality of the sound system.
They are held locally.
They're held here in my area.
Advice about legal matters.
Give advice on legal problems.
Plants use it up.
The moisture is absorbed by thirsty plants.
They kept all their meeting arrangements.
We managed to keep all these dates.
One of them helped arrange the transport.
An old friend acted as a sort of transport organizer.
Arranging matches and venues.
Organizing the schedule of games and events.
Can think independently.
Someone who can think for themselves.
There is geographical evidence.
Fossils and rocks have been discovered.
A wide variety of hotels.
A whole range of different hotel types.
They might include the topic.
Let's see how we're doing in time.
The variety of work.
So many different things to do.
Jewelry.
Rings and bracelets.
Have to follow orders immediately.
You need to do it straightway.
No longer contain any books.
Books and magazines will all disappear.
The play will be performed for the first time.
The play is a modern one. We're going to the premiere.
The play will be performed outdoors.
It will be in the garden of a palace.
It will be performed inside a historical building.
It's in the stunning setting of the old town hall.
Study of the social background to the literature.
Literature in the context of society.
Young professional people.
New graduates embarking on careers in fashion.
Develop a new use for current technology.
Come up with a new design.
More appealing.
Something that looks different.
Changes back to a gas.
The liquid is depressurized, so it reverts to a gas.
Local people.
Initiatives come from you, the public.
The size of the facilities.
Enough room for the number of visitors.
Local animals.
Fauna native to the forests of the region.
Great Highlands.
Climbing blocks in the shape of the mountain.
Jewels.
Full of precious stones.
Waterways.
Trails to represent the great rivers.
The impact of an extreme environment.
Harsh weather conditions shaped people's lifestyle.
Eastern countries were far away.
There was a huge stretch of ocean in the east.
Develop archaeological methodology.
Establish what call practical archaeology.
Volunteers help in various ways.
Volunteers working in study work and other activities.
It has not been seen this year.
It has yet been cited by our observation.
It is the newest one in the scheme.
It is the latest to be chosen for the scheme.
He likes to have clear guidelines.
It helped him work out exactly what to do.
An equipment failure.
It stuck and shone on the wrong side.
The workers went away.
Thousands of workers were forced to emigrate.
Rebuilding the port complex.
Map the original port complex to reconstruct.
Good communication.
Better at explaining things and asserting opinions.
An improved image.
It enhances the image of the company.
Personal tutor.
You should ask your own tutor to provide.
Science, technology, engineering, or mathematics.
Majoring in what's known as the STEM disciplines.
2 different writing tasks.
Half do the same task, half do a factual task.
No effect on men's and women's performance.
The men and the women got the same result.
Talk to a professor.
Make an appointment to see a science professor.
Factor affecting where organisms live.
What causes organisms to choose particular habitats?
The way the information is divided up.
How we divided up the different research tasks.
Lack of water.
They're in the open air for most of the time.
Hot temperatures.
Able to find shelter to prevent hot weather.
Missing some organisms when counting.
I'm not sure we identified all the species correctly.
The development of cycle paths.
New cycle paths are being used far more than expected.
It will move to a new location.
It will reopen on a different site.
How they planned the project.
How do you feel about drafting something?
Most popular exhibits in the museum.
The gallery attracts the largest number of visitors.
Some of its contents relocated.
Sculptures have been moved to other parts of the museum.
Recently published in media.
Probably seen it on TV or newspaper.
Items given by members of the public.
Ordinary people donated to the museum.
They had all toured internationally.
They had done extensive tours in different continents.
Clothing may protect against physical injury.
Clothing could safeguard the players.